Hello.
Hello.
We'll start there.
Welcome to Needles
morning.
Athletic. Good morning.
Yes, it is still morning. It is 10:22 here on the East Coast of the United States of America. I am Ray. I was going to say I'm Kevin. And this
I'm
is Kevin.
Kevin.
Yep. And we're Needles at the Ready. Right? We talk about this. Usually do this part. We talk about what we're knitting, what we're doing in life, yarny things, crochet, yarn dyeing, and all that other things that we've been up to. Is that what you usually say?
I think so.
Today is Saturday, July 21st, 2024.
And this is episode 116
There we go. You're back on track. Welcome to
of
the
our
party.
YouTube channel where we talk about knitting, crocheting, yarn dyeing, yarn buying, and all the things that go along with that.
That's how it goes. Yeah.
And we are coming to you a day late.
Dollar short.
And
Quite a few dollars short, actually.
we are a bit tired. I
Yeah.
feel like I smoked 2 packs of Marbreds, had a 12-pack of beer while sitting in a dust storm yesterday in like 112-degree weather.
Accurate.
Right?
Yeah, it was. So, for those who do not know, we just came off of our very first trunk show at Pick Up Every Stitch. We had that yesterday from 12 to 4. It was such a great time. We saw so many amazing people. We chatted the entire time. I feel like if you think that we're chatty in these episodes, if you were to catch us in real life, we love to talk. And so, yeah, we chatted the day away. We sold some yarn, which was great. Karen and Felicia, if you've never been, have been wonderful. If you've never been to Pick Up Every Stitch in Mount Kisco, New York, we have that shop linked down below. We've had it linked down below for the past couple of episodes, I think. We do consider them one of our local yarn shops.
We have many local yarn shops.
We do. We're very lucky.
We are.
But it's such a great store. Very modern. They have a huge selection of different yarns. Karen is a wonderful designer. Some of her designs are there as samples. They were such gracious hosts. And
their staff is fantastic.
Amazing. Yeah.
So they were super helpful yesterday.
Yep.
And yesterday was just a super humbling experience. Any experience that we have at any event is really humbling. But yesterday was really different for us. Number one, to do our first trunk show.
Yeah.
And then to the amount of support that we got through Instagram. And then for the number of people who showed up that we recognize faces, and the list is endless, but
miles long.
I mean, I'm just gonna shoot off some names off the top of my head. Edna and her husband, whose name I forget, so I'm sorry. Edna's husband.
I know. My God, that was.
And our ladies from our Wednesday night library knit group, Kim from Knit Together with Kim and Jonna, Kate and Laura from the Knitting Posse, Hope and Keisha. I was so surprised. They drove friggin' 4 hours. They're tricky.
They are tricky. Tricky little minxes.
I thought that they might be coming after watching their last episode, but I was like, no, there's no way they would drive. And they did. So that's
phenomenal. Hope from Hope Made Yarn Co. and Keisha from Simply Vintage Designs. They have a really great podcast on YouTube.
And they've become fast friends.
With us.
Well, we've become fast friends with them. Yeah. After... I feel like
You said they've become fast friends. I feel like they've been friends. I don't know how fast they became friends.
Shut up. I can't even.
Yeah, it was really a wonderful experience.
Izzy and Kelly, Kim from the Bronx.
Bronx.
So many people from New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, all of the places. Mm-hmm. There were just so many.
We saw Aaron and Kyle. They came up.
Oh yeah, Aaron and Kyle.
Yep. Aaron, I sent you a message if you're watching this on
Hope
Instagram.
You enjoyed Colony.
Hope you went to Colony, and hope we didn't steer you wrong. Anyway, it was a great time. And again, like Kevin said, thank you to everybody who supported us, who couldn't even come, just wishing us luck and well wishes. A couple of people bought some yarn prior because they couldn't make it to the trunk show. Things like that is just, this community is amazing.
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing it all over again. We have a date, September 14th.
And 15th. Right.
At Skane Yarn Shop in Rhode Island. Great opportunity if you've never visited that yarn shop. Absolutely one of our favorites. Has such a great community, amazing community feel. The minute you walk in, you feel like you're part of the group. You can sit down and chat with anybody. So we're going to be there, September 14th and 15th.
Yeah.
And we'll have their shop link down below as well. So keep your ears and eyes open and peeled for more details.
We will actually also be there next week.
We will.
Next Saturday, Max and Vincent from Les Garçons will be visiting. We will be heading there too to see them and just hang out with you all. So if you're in the area, stop by skiing next Saturday, which is the 27th?
25th?
Let's see.
What's today? 21st. Yeah, so probably the...
Next Saturday.
Hey, that's nice how your calendar looks there. There's a lot on the calendar.
I know. What's today? The 18th. So it's the 24th.
You were looking at... No, it's not. You're looking at August.
Oh my god, I'm a schmuck. 27th.
27th.
Saturday
you were right
the 27th.
The first time.
We will be there. So,
be there or be square.
With that being said, other than that, our last 2 weeks have been pretty normal. Oh, with the exception that a tornado touched down right down the street from us and knocked down some branches in our backyard.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
Scary.
Yeah.
Really scary.
It looked like
those storms were wild.
It looked like a hurricane, really.
Yeah.
That's what it
was like a whole sheet of wind just like came.
Awful.
It was wild.
Yeah, we just
Scary.
drove by a tree that fell down right down the street from us, like pulled up the sidewalk, hit a house. It's a mess. But yeah, so that was fun.
Well, we were very lucky. We didn't even lose power.
No, we didn't.
A lot of people did, but we somehow lucked out, which was good because you were dying. Kevin has been a dying fool.
I pushed myself to the limits.
You did great. You deserve a couple of days off for sure.
I'm definitely taking some.
And then get back to work really quickly.
Absolutely. I know.
No,
because I do have to die a ton for skiing.
Yeah.
It's a trunk show. So, but I really think that's been our 2 weeks, huh? Like, really, it's been really uneventful.
Yeah, just getting ready for the trunk show was a lot of,
that was the priority.
Mm-hmm. Making sure the samples were good and the sock tubes, that was really a good idea, I thought.
Yeah.
And then, all right, so then moving on to some administrative things. We have two things. One is that we still have, we have our MAL going on for Let's Hear It for the Boys. So lots of amazing patterns and suggestions have been coming through, which has been great. You can enter via Ravelry or Instagram. Instagram, we have a hashtag. It's hashtag NATRBoys2024. And then on Ravelry, follow the threads in our Ravelry group. We've got an FO thread and a chatter thread. We'll be pulling winners from all three. And then one of the really cool, I think, of course I'm a little bit biased, is that Max the knitter over at Les Garçons, had released his old-fashioned cardigan pattern. I test knit that. I showed that in the last episode. If you haven't seen that yet, check out the last episode. I also posted on Instagram. It's a beautiful cardigan, textured. And they're hosting a knit along as well. That would be a great pattern for anybody who would like to join Let's Hear It for the Boys. Join them as well. They're also going to be having a photo op at Rhinebeck this year for those sweaters. So I will definitely be there. More to come for that. But if you're interested in knitting that, check out their Instagram and join their newsletter if you haven't already, Boutique Les Garçons, and get all the deets. Okay. The next thing is really exciting. Ginger snapped that.
Oh, I really had no idea.
I know
what
you
the
didn't. I could
thing
tell
was,
with your
and I'm
face.
thinking, what else did we?
Yeah. I'm doing this here instead of acquisitions because we wanted to kind of get it out there so you all can start thinking and making comments and things. So every year, Ginger Snap for the past couple of years has been putting out their s'mores set. I think that's the one we're giving away. And they reached out to us to ask if we would be interested in doing a giveaway, which we did the last 2 years, I believe. It comes with a beautiful bag and a sock set to knit their s'mores socks.
Did you bring yours?
No. Shoot. Well, you know what, people? I'm sorry.
No, I'm
never prepared for things.
We're never prepared.
It's okay. That's how we live our lives. So let's take a look here at what the sock actually looks like. So they sold out in 6 minutes. 6 or 8 minutes. Yeah, it was super quick. They had a great following. A lot of people were very interested. They had a couple of different bags. And they graciously sent us one to give away here. So this is the only place right now that I know of that you can get this beautiful bag. It's so good.
It's really cute.
It's so
a great
good.
fabric.
It's a wireframe bag, right?
Yeah, it's wireframe bag. It really cute.
Here's the sock set. So look how cute.
I know. It's an adorable fabric.
It's adorable, and the quality is absolutely amazing. The base is the 75/25 superwash merino and nylon. It's on their dust fingering weight. It's the S'mores Summer Fun sock set. And here's what it looks like knit up. This is all on their Instagram, so follow their Instagram if you want to see some more details and some pictures and things. Isn't that good? And it's neat because every year they do a different take on it. It was very traditional, I think one of the first years. This, I love the
mini.
The mini, oh my god, it's so good. And the wireframe bag. So, if you'd like to enter the giveaway, comment down below with the word s'mores. SM, well, we did this last time. And how about...
Here's the spelling. It's S
apostrophe MORE.
So comment with that
in
your comments, and you will be entered for a giveaway, and we will announce the winner on the next episode.
Yes, we will not reach out to you in the comments or reply to your comments. Please do not give out any of your personal information. We will announce the winner, like Kevin said, on our next podcast, and then we usually require you to reach out to us so that you know that you are in control of your own information. And then I'm going to put this aside. We can talk about that afterwards. So that's that. I think those are all of our administrative.
I think that's everything. So we're going to get into some nitty stuff, and I have one FO.
I also have one FO.
And I have 3 whips.
I'm going to show 2 whips.
Okay. All right. So I will go first with FO because mine's really quick.
Okay. This bag, every time you pull it out, I love it so much.
Living in my Bink waffle bag that we purchased from Skane. Okay. Whew. So we are continuing with our theme of the Salish?
Yes. Salish. Isn't it a long A?
Yes. Sorry. Salish. Salish hat cap. I'm going to pull that up. By
Blue Sky Fibers.
Blue Sky Fibers. So this is in their Traveler series. This is the Salish cap designed by Mary Pernica. It is you knit this hat with fingering weight held double. It's knit on a 5mm needle, which is a US 8. And it is now my go-to gift hat. So I used some leftover yarn from Fiber Optic Yarns on their superwash. It's 80% superwash wool, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon, and I held it double with some yarn from Lolo Did It, which was called Magic, which is 85% extra fine superwash merino and 15% nylon. So this is the Fiber Optic yarn in the colorway Graphite. This is Lolo Did It in Magic.
And Magic was part of the Dumbledore's collection, which was a monthly club, so I don't think you can get that now, but
here's the finished hat. This
Love
is hat number 5.
This one's great. They're all great.
They are. Again, you will continue to see this because I think it's such a good gift knit. It fits everybody, I feel like. And like we said last time, we've already given 3 away. Our friends who came over took them, so now I have 2 more to add to the hat bin. In my experience knitting this, if you have leftover fingering weight scrap yarn, you need 35 grams of each color to make this hat. So to be safe, I've just been making sure I have 40, which I had 40 of both of these.
Mm-hmm. And you have leftovers.
Right, I had plenty of leftovers to throw into my scrappy blanket.
Perfect.
And yeah, I don't know what else to say except buy the pattern. It's $3 on Ravelry. And we've heard back actually in our comments last time from a couple of people who've taken our advice and purchased the pattern and love making the hat. They make it with their knitting group. They do charity knitting with this. So I think it's I just think it's such a good hat pattern and highly recommend it. I do use a German twisted cast on for my cast on, and that's really all I have to say about it.
I think it's really great because marling is so different than striping. Like if you use different, 2 different yarns to stripe,
Like,
it's cool and all, but like holding it together, like I feel like it gets such a neat.
this was the last.
It
one
almost
I
looks
showed,
textured too, when it gets marled.
and that was these 2 yarns.
Yeah, really great. At the end of the episode, we'll be showing during our acquisition some lovely owl posts that we received that relates to this hat.
Woohoo! So that is that hat.
Well, lovely. I will go next.
Oh, okay.
I have an FO. Can you guess what it is? This is it's actually what I'm wearing as well. I'm gonna pull it up. This is the Jethro by Tanis Lavallee. It is a granny square crochet and knit. You gonna sneeze? Okay. Do you want to wait? Rostrovia. One more. Bless you. I think you're done. One more. All right. Good job. Feel better?
Thank you.
Great. So it was really fun. So I made a couple of modifications. Let me show you what I did. So this is finished. I obviously did short sleeves. So I just did some ribbing here for about 1 inch and ended it. I like the cut here. The sweater itself was a little bit short. So for me, so like it hits my waist is right here. So it hit just a teensy bit below my waist. And here's like my pocket. So we were kind of thinking about how we can extend it. Didn't feel like making, full squares. I didn't want it too long. I really wanted it to kind of sit at a t-shirt height for me. So we thought putting in a granny stripe with all of the colors all around would be really, really neat. Now I just finished this morning, so I still have a ton of ends to weave in, and I still have to wash and block it. But I wish we had more room. It's nice and drapey. I think it looks like a t-shirt, which is nice. I have to figure out what I want to wear underneath it. Right now I just have a dark tank top. I want to figure out what color would go really nicely here. But
a light color.
Yeah, probably. I love all of the colors together here. I think it came out really, really nice. It was super fun to do. I crocheted the squares. If you've been following along, I've been crocheting the squares in kind of like a... What's the word I'm looking for? Not factory.
Assembly chain.
Assembly line?
Assembly line.
Yeah. So I was working on one color at a time. So I would crochet, this color here and then pick it up, do the next round on the next one. So I was kind of completing the squares in bulk, which really worked out well for me. And then what I ended up doing was crocheting as I went along, doing a continuous join for all of the squares. There was a great video in the pattern as well. It's a very long, they're longer videos, but the one that really worked well for me that I ended up following along was one from Bella Coco. And again, for those of you who know, Bella Coco is kind of how I learned how to crochet. She's got some wonderful tutorials about crochet on YouTube. We'll have her channel linked down below. I love her voice. It's very soothing and it's repetitive. So she really walks you through the entire process, which was really great. So it was pretty easy. It was really easy to do. It was a lot easier than I thought to crochet them. Yeah. To join them as I went. And then what I decided to do was I decided on a 1x1 rib for the band and for everything, for all of the ribbing. And so what you do is you pick up all of the stitches, which is super easy to do on crochet. I picked up both legs of the V at the top of the, at the end of the crochet, like when you're crocheting across, you create these like little V's there. So I went through both of those, picked them up on the right side so that the inside has the bump there. So everything's kind of hidden and it blends in really nicely together. And the reason why I did it one by one, Kevin and I were talking about it, is because I wanted to have a really nice finished edge. So I did an Italian tubular bind off. It took a long time because there's a lot of stitches going all the way around. And then I did the bands, the bottom cuff separate here. But, but it creates a really nice rounded finished, like high finish edge there, which I thought was really good. And the yarn was really good to work with. I loved what I ended up doing. I don't think we spoke last time. I was still working on some squares. We were determining whether or not we wanted to do some extra squares or not. So I ended up doing 2 squares of each color, and I have 5 colors in this pattern. So I did an additional 10 squares, and I kind of put them in randomly, but like to make sense. So, for example, you can see I did a blue square here, the orange square here. I did the orange square here, and a blue square there. And then I have this mirrored as well, these two. And then I have a few of the other solids. I have one here, and then there's one at the top of my back as well. Just to kind of break it up a little bit and add a little pop of interest. And I randomly chose like the placement, but I tried to kind of, at least for this row, I tried to kind of mirror it. I think it looks really cool. And I put the blue next to the orange, and then the outside orange next to the blue. I was trying to be a little bit thoughtful for it, but I'm really excited about this. I love this stripe going across. I think it's really cool. Good decision. If I wanted this longer sleeves, I probably would have liked to do a stripe there, but I like the cut of this. I think this is going to be good for summertime. We're going to be wearing these at Flock Fiber Festival in Seattle in August, and though it'll be air conditioned, we kind of wanted I wanted a lighter cut. So this is very comfortable. Right now it's 80 degrees, and I'm still very comfortable. The yarn that we used is Kotlin from Knit Picks in DK. So it is cotton and linen blend.
I think 50-50.
No, it's 70% cotton, 30% linen. And there are 50-gram balls, about 123 yards per 50 grams. I will try to put this on Ravelry, but we'll see what happens. I did talk about all of my colors in some previous episodes, so I don't have the bands for everything still, but I have all of these squares still left over that I didn't use because I replaced them with with the solids. And I went down on my hook size from the recommended hook size. I went down to a 2.5 millimeter crochet hook, and this is our Clover Amour, which is my favorite. They're my favorite crochet hooks. And then for the band, I used the recommended needles, which is a US 4. And it was really great. I feel like, though, crochet is so fast that I feel like I spent more time picking up and knitting the bands and binding off than I did putting everything together, like by far. Because I feel like I joined everything together within like 2 days. I feel like I was almost done. I was pretty. You did,
especially I remember you doing the front panels pretty quickly.
Yeah, the front. So I joined the back first as one solid block. I had 5 across, and
4 down.
4 down. So I joined those as a big block, and then what I ended up doing was picking up and just doing the one front panel at a time. So it's only 2 across and 4 down, and that went a lot quicker. And then picked up over here and did the same thing. So check out Bella Coco if you're interested. If you have the pattern, I would absolutely recommend looking at the join as the continuous join.
Yeah, for sure.
One of the things too with the continuous join is that it adds a little bit more structure because you've got a lot of slip stitches in between here, and it's probably difficult to see
Your yarn's very
Oh, here
yellow.
we go. So you can see that here, where you join them together, there's a column of slip stitches. It keeps it nice and even as well, but it adds a lot more structure so that it's not going to be one giant like slouchy mess.
Yeah.
And I don't have much yarn left over at all. If I were going to choose to do this, the yarn that we bought the recommended yardage to do full sleeves on the pattern, but I definitely did not have enough of the black. I got 3 skeins of the black, which was just enough to...
You got 4.
Oh, I got 4 skeins, you're right. Which was just enough to do the continuous join and the bands. So the bands I did about 1.5 inches, almost 2 inches. And this is all I have left of the black, of the 4th skein of the black. So that's about 200 grams of yarn. So if you were going to do this and you're looking to do full sleeves, of course, everybody's yardage is going to vary depending on what their gauge is. But I did get gauge on the squares. And I would recommend just getting a few extra, maybe 1 to 2 more skeins of a main color, if that's something that you're interested in doing full sleeves. At least that's my experience. But I have pretty much the same amount left over of all of the other yarns, and we got 2 skeins of each of these. So there's about 15-20 grams left of each color. So that was just enough as well. Plus I have the extra square.
I was going to say, yeah, we did extra square. So,
yeah.
So
you'll have plenty if you're using this yarn, you'll have plenty with 2 grams. So it's 123 yards. So what's that? 246 yards will get you, of each color, should get you enough squares to make the second size of this pattern. That's the one that we ended up doing.
No, didn't we do the third? We did size 3.
This is the third size. Oh, yeah, you're right.
It recommended, for the main color, it recommended 360 yards. And we had well over 400.
Yeah.
Almost 5.
Yeah.
But it could, again, it's tension. And in that pattern, it does suggest a pure wash DK from tennis fiber. So if that's a super wash, it would grow a little bit more once it's blocked. So that could account for the less yardage needed in a super wash.
That's a good point.
That's what it is.
Yeah. But I'm absolutely... I'm so happy with this. One of the other things that I opted to change was I did not add buttons. I like it open, so I didn't want to add buttons.
You know what we may not have taken into account, for example? So in the pattern, and this is probably what we did not do, she does give you an estimation of yardage for your granny squares. For instance, in our size, it says 980 yards. Of that, 275 yards is our main color. So for our main color, we would have needed 360 plus 275. So we miscalculated.
That, you know what, that makes a lot more sense too, especially if you're not going to do the continuous join too, because basically you're knitting or crocheting. You could also crochet an additional round around this in that main color and then just sew them together. So that might take up a little bit less yardage too.
So that's probably where our numbers were a bit off.
But, using this yarn like this is very affordable. It's my first time using the cotton linen blend, and I was very happy with the way that it worked up. I did find with the crochet hook, just because I had to go down so many sizes, that I did struggle a little bit with the yarn being a little, splitty. And that sometimes does happen even with knitting, is that if your needle is too sharp or too small or whatever, you can potentially split the yarn. So that was just something that I needed to struggle through because of the size of the crochet hook that I used.
Well, it could be the fiber content too. It's both are plant-based fibers, so they don't stick together as well as a non-superwash yarn. It doesn't hold its twist as well. However,
when I was knitting, I did not split the yarn one time.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so it might have just been the crochet hook. So that's that. So if you're coming to Flock, you'll see this in person. I'm really excited to soak this and see what happens with the linen in there. Cotton will stretch, but it does then it does come back to its shape if you throw it in the dryer or something like that. So I wouldn't mind this being a little bit more, a little bit longer, maybe, or I don't know. I feel like it fits good. Yeah, I think it looks good too. It's the height, the size that I wanted. I think it feels summery. It doesn't feel overwhelming and hot. So I think I'll be okay wearing this at Flock. That's all. I think that's all I have to say about that one.
Okay. Nice. Then we're moving on to whips.
Moving on up.
All right. So I'm actually just gonna go first and continue on with the theme. And what's this? Portland leather canvas bags that they don't make anymore is my Jethro. I am still working on putting it together.
So bright.
All right. So here we are. I just have to add my last... This is a mess.
There's so many ends.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I don't even know where I am. All right. So here we are. So here's my back.
Yep. Oh, God.
Here's my first front panel. And then I have... What we both did for our panels, actually, is we laid them out. Right? So photos. Am I going in the wrong way? No. All right. Laid them out on the floor. Took a picture so that we knew how we wanted it, and then just followed that with the continuous join.
Yeah.
So I did the same thing. I'm using the Bella Coco. Same yarn, Kotlin from Knit Picks in...
Oh, you're better than me. I don't remember mine.
This is hydrangea. That's that's mustard seed. This is wallaby. No. Wallaby?
Yeah, wallaby. I have the same color in here. Somewhere. Here, wallaby.
Yeah. Yeah, my main color is Ray's... one of Ray's square colors. So I love the color... palette.
Me too.
I think my main color works really, really well with the other ones. I did get gauge using the recommended hook size, which is a 3.75 millimeter. Also using the Clover Amore set, and I will probably get this done today or tomorrow. Not done. I would like to get the panel done either today or tomorrow. Tomorrow I plan on lounging on the couch and watching some 911.
Sounds really nice. I wish I could do that.
And yeah, I will say the continuous join is nice, but it is a little finicky, especially with the back piece, because you have this big flat piece of fabric, and this is a little stiffer of a fabric than it would be if it was an animal fiber yarn. So it was a little finicky to work with at first, but once you get going and you get in the flow, it definitely works out well. I'm glad that I decided to jump on this bandwagon and tackle some granny squares.
They look so good.
So I'm going to do the same thing as Ray did that we discussed at the bottom. I'm probably going to add at least one more row because I have a longer torso than Ray does.
Which is why it looks like Kevin's taller than me when we're sitting here, but in person I'm not. I have longer legs.
Right, I'm much shorter. So he has I have a longer torso. So I need a little bit more length. So I'm either going to do one or two additional granny stripes at the bottom. I said I just want to look at this, and I think this is... I really like the contrast between those and these two.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. One of these is going to be like my main granny stripe color, and I may do like this. What if I just do this and this, this and this? Rotate these two. No, I think that'd be too stripey for me.
Yeah. I mean, I liked using those colors again.
Right.
You know, because I really loved the color combination.
So maybe I'll start and end with this one.
You could do that.
You know, and make 6 stripes total. Start with this. And where's this?
Because that'll give it a nice like border.
Like this was my first square, so maybe I will follow this pattern in this way and end with that color again. because it does look really nice here next to the darker blue.
It does. I like that color combination too. That order is nice. I mean, the same order, but...
So that's what I will do. That's my plan for the next 2 days, is hopefully to get that panel done. The panel done and get it seamed up. How did you seam your sides? Did you mattress stitch or?
Seamed my sides.
Yeah, when you finished this.
Oh, I did. Joined. Yeah. I did a mattress stitch.
Okay.
Yeah, I did a mattress stitch, which was a little bit difficult with crochet. But again, I found a good. There's a video tutorial. Oh, you know what? I think I actually Googled it because there was not a video tutorial about mattress stitching it in the pattern.
What?
I Googled it and watched a video. Because with crochet, the mattress stitch is basically like a, you're just like sewing them together. It's a little bit different than a traditional mattress stitch that you would use with knitting, where you're going in between the stitches in that little like ladder space.
Yeah, so I actually have been seeing a video on Instagram, I think, where what somebody does is they go, these, right?
Yeah.
And they go in between these.
I tried. I had a hard time. It wasn't super consistent for me.
And they, because in knitting mattress stitch, you go under the bars, 2 bars, go over to the next one, 2 bars, and then you go back into the one
that you came from.
This one does not. It doesn't. Each stitch
is separate.
It looked like, so I may give that a shot.
That's how I ended up doing mine. I was also playing with the idea, and I don't know why it wouldn't work, of just slip stitching them, crocheting, slipping them up with the crochet hook.
Oh yeah,
that would still be, a good way to join it, and it would give you a little bit more structure there too.
And out of curiosity, when you were joining, how long to make your armhole? How did you decide?
I went down. I just did 2 squares.
2 squares. Gotcha.
Yep, I just did 2 squares, so you can see.
So if you wanted a little bit of a tighter one, you could have gone up.
Yes,
half.
Yeah, I did not. I didn't. I was afraid that I would lose something, especially when I picked up and put ribbing there. I didn't want it to get too tight because I know I would be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I feel like I need the air.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Good to know.
Yeah.
So that is my Jethro.
Great. It was really fun. It was nice. This is the first time that I've felt comfortable doing granny squares.
It's my first time doing them.
Yeah. I've crocheted a lot of things, mostly flat knitting or crocheting for like shawls and things and amigurumi. And I remember struggling with granny squares. Like when I was trying to learn, I was trying to make crochet like coasters and things, and it never clicked for me. Mm-hmm. But this was really easy to follow. I think it was a great pattern.
All right, you're up.
All right, I think that I'm just gonna show this. I didn't make much progress, but I looked back and I did add a few more rows. So I'll just show this and where I'm at with it, just because this was my main focus. This took pretty much all of my time focusing on that, and then helping with your with our trunk show. This is the Jelly Roll blanket. I'll show you a little bit of a progress update, and then we'll move on from there. This is by Kay Jones. We'll be knitting on these. I will be knitting on this probably for the next 5 years, which is fine. But here's where I am now. I'm still working on the same color, but I did make some progress.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah. So I have quite a bit of this left, and we were talking about if I should just finish this stripe. It's still.
I would just finish the color.
So it's gonna come. It's gonna come pretty high, I think.
I would just keep going.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep going. I'm not bored of it yet.
It's less ends.
It is. So, with this, this is DK weight yarn. The pattern. There is a pattern. No, let me slow down a little bit. I feel like I'm talking a mile a minute. The pattern is written for fingering weight. However, there is a DK version as well. I'm using the same numbers as the pattern calls for in the fingering weight version, which I think is the same as the DK weight version, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm using a 3.75 millimeter hook.
No, you're not. You're using a
needle, which is a US 5. And then for my join, I am doing something a little bit different than what the pattern calls for, which I think creates this really nice column of slip stitches in the color that I'm working with all the way down. So what I'm doing here is when I get to the end of the row, I am slipping the first stitch. I'll get to the last 2 stitches. I'm slipping the first stitch knitwise, and then knitting those 2 together through the back loop, which doesn't make any sense because then the stitch would be twisted again, right? So maybe I'm not doing that.
I can't with you.
I don't remember what I'm doing.
I thought you were.
I have an idea. How about
I thought you were slipping both of them purlwise, and then
I am slipping them. Well, let me just knit a row. So here's where it's just using scraps. It's a great project to work on when you don't really have much else to do. I feel like I have to just let my body do it. You know what I mean? And then I'll be able to report back to you. So that's all I have to say about this project. Do you want to go on to your next one while I'm moving forward?
Yes. So my next project, this is the Sean's Gambir by Lindsay. You can read her name, Sean's Gambir. So this will be one of the sweaters that we'll be taking to Rhinebeck. It is living in my naughty knitting sack. And I am knitting this, or we are knitting ours, out of Lamb's Pride bulky wool. It is 85% wool, 15% mohair. My colors are navy, warm caramel, and oatmeal. I'm using the recommended needle size. I went with God Crispy and did not gauge swatch.
God Crispy?
Yeah, remember? Go with God Crispy.
Oh, go with God Crispy. Yeah.
That's what I did.
Sister Act
2.
Sister Act 2.
Back in the habit.
Yeah.
So I have finished my second section of color work.
Colors are great together.
The pockets have been attached. Well, attached. They're still flappy. I think I'm
Love those flappy pockets.
I think I'm at the point where I can start the final or the third color work section.
Countdown.
And this is knit on. Let me tell you guys, knitting on a US 11, an 8mm needle, going down to an 8 when I was working on the hat, I felt like I went down to.
Oh, I know.
2.25mm needle. That thing, the difference, and I just, I was in the middle of a row this morning, so I wanted to just get to the end of the row. And then I went to the hat just to finish that off. And the size difference, it was amazing, how the US 8s felt in my hands afterwards, because those feel large going from a sock needle or a US 4 or whatever the case is. But so far, this has been a joy to knit, actually. The color work as of right now is not bad. It was super easy. There's a couple times where you do have to cut your yarn because you're not carrying both colors back to the beginning of a round. So you do cut it a little bit so it creates a little bit of ends. This is the section that we're both still trying to figure out how we would like to handle that. There are very long floats in this section. Our friend Kate from the Knitting Posse, when she knit hers, she did some intarsia for that one particular color, which would be this for me. Mm-hmm. So that could be an option, but that would mean that we would need 16 or 17 bobbins of this color.
Yeah, because the sections you make quite a few of them.
So still undecided how that's going to be handled at this time. It's also. My Jethro has to be my main focus because it needs to be ready
in 3 weeks.
In 3 weeks. There's not much left to be done. I feel like once the the front panel gets finished and the seaming takes place, the rest is only going to take a couple of days to finish it. But I still want to make a little bit of progress on this. Maybe I'll do color work until I get to that point. I've been enjoying just picking this up and putting about an inch on it or an inch and a half on it here or there. And it also allows my hands to get a nice break and not feel the tightness that can happen or the uncomfortableness or strain rather from working with really large needles for a long period of time. But yeah, it's a lovely project. I'm really happy with the colors now that I see them together. The blue scared me great, initially. Yeah. I did think it was a little more blue than less of a navy blue than I was thinking it would be, but I'm very happy with the way that they turned out. And that actually, funny thing was, Ray and I were talking about our sweaters that we've knit this morning. And we have realized that I lean very heavily towards blue sweaters and he leans very heavily towards brown sweaters that we've made for ourselves. So we have to
I have a plan to rectify that.
Yes, we are planning to correct that issue.
Okay, so I'm gonna try this. Let's see if this works.
Here we go. You're gonna knock over the iPad.
I'm trying not to. Okay.
Nope.
Where's the camera? Okay, here we are. Right. So now I'm at the end of my row. I've just knit this portion here. Right. So I slip this stitch purlwise, and then in between here. Wait, you guys see that? In between here, I come through from the back and knit the two together through the back loop. Like this. Okay? So that's step one. And then you turn your work. And then what I do here is I'm slipping this first stitch purlwise with the yarn in the front. Here's the yarn. I think it creates a really cool thing. So I'm slipping that purlwise, bringing the yarn back, giving it a nice little tug, and then I start my way back in, and it creates that really nice slip stitch column between the two yarns.
Good job.
There you have it.
All right.
Hopefully that made sense to everybody.
Hopefully. Your next whip? Do you have any other?
Yeah, I do. Just one more. But now I'm in the middle. I can't stop in the middle of a row. It's only a few stitches. Hold, please.
What's your other whip?
Talks amongst yourselves. You have another one, too.
Oh, I know what your other whip is. All right, so my next whip is one that just cast on. I actually brought it to pick up every stitch yesterday because I thought, I will knit with some of my yarn while we're talking with people. This is living in my Oh Wow Amsterdam bag that we got from that's a lie, from Skein Yarn Shop. So I decided that it would be nice to knit with some of my yarn and make a sample, and I didn't get very far, but I saw these two colors and I'm surprised. Saw them together on the dining room table as I was scanning stuff and doing inventory, and I thought that they would look really good together. So I was like, okay, let's do a sample of Pure Joy by Joji Locatelli. It is one of the first shawls that I've knit, and I've knit several. It's a great gift knit, I think, because you only need 2 skeins of fingering weight yarn. It is knit on a US 6, which is a 4mm needle. It is garter stitch with short rows, basically, and eyelets. So I'm combining pistachio brittle.
This is a great color.
Which is a green with some orangey speckles in there. The funny thing is, all my speckles are on the wrong side currently, so I hope that they move. And I paired it with roasted pumpkin.
It's great.
And
great color combination.
This is all I have so far. I'm just on the first section. And as you can see, I have no, look, the speckles are back here.
Yeah, but they pop through. You see them. There's one right there.
No, I just flipped it. Oh, yeah. There's some over here.
Yeah.
So...
No, it's even. You did great.
And I probably have a skein that is not as heavily speckled as some others. Mm-hmm. Because that's the nature of hand-dyed yarn, especially with speckling, you're never going to get two skeins anywhere close to being similar. Some of them...
Well, they're close.
Well, I'm saying they're close, but when I pull them out of their dye bath, it's really interesting to see how the speckles take and how some skeins have maybe more speckles and some skeins maybe have a little more green or different tones of green. So this one, I can tell that there's a lot of speckling in there, and you can just kind of see it.
Yeah, it's really pretty
throughout the skein.
Yeah.
And there's a really nice tonality to this skein.
I agree.
Where there's some brighter greens and then a very light green, almost leaning towards a light that might have a gray undertone to it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm still in the first section. I haven't started any short rows yet. It does call for a garter tab cast on, which I like doing. And what I do for this, in any shawl that has short rows, typically you'll get to a point and it says, do your wrap and turn, or whatever their short row method is. And then you go back and then it will say knit till, 10 stitches before your previous wrap and turn. Mm-hmm. So once I do my wrap and turn, flip my work to knit back to the beginning of the row, I would knit 10 stitches and put a stitch marker so I don't have to count afterwards. It's just, all right, I'm knitting to my marker. So I do that with any shawl that has short rows.
Yeah, I think that's really, really smart. I do that same exact thing. That was a really great tip.
And that's all my knitting, so you're up now.
Okay, this is my last whip. Also living in my Oh Wow Amsterdam bag. And these bags are all handmade. I think Kevin might have mentioned it. And they're all different. So no, I don't think any bag is the same exactly.
I don't know. I do know that they're
very, very limited.
And they're shop specific. These were the only one, you could only get them from Skein. And as far as I've been able to tell, because I did try to look for their website, I don't see that they sell them on a website.
Oh,
they're
good to know.
Yarn shop specific bags. You could only get them from yarn stores, I believe.
So we'll probably going to pick another one up when we're there, or I might get one of those other bags.
It depends. I know that they have limited inventory on the Oh Wow.
Yeah.
And I think Lori has ordered some more.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
And they come in different sizes. I know they have 3 or 4 different sizes.
This one was great. I was knitting out of this yesterday while we were standing and talking. So I had my project in the bag, and I was just knitting as we were just chatting away, which was really great. What am I knitting?
Excuse
you
me.
ask? Well, thanks for asking. I cast on another sample for Kevin's yarn. I thought it would be nice. We didn't have a sock tube with this. This is Violet Meadow, which is absolutely gorgeous on our Achilles base. 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It's I think it's really great. It's knitting up wonderfully. I cast on just a plain simple sock using my own sock recipe, and in person, I feel like these purple bits here are more almost like an electric purple. There's a brightness to them, which is really, really, really fun. And then you have these little specks of, I see a greenish color in there. Oh yeah, you can see that really nicely.
You get some nice greens and yellows from the speckles.
It's like a Violet Meadow, which is really nice. So I am doing my... I did a German twisted cast on. This is just my sock recipe. German twisted cast on. For these socks, I did cast on 64 stitches just because for a shop sample, there's no need for me to do 72 stitch sock or as long as my giant foot. So I'm going to have a much more manageable project that should go a little bit faster. I did 2x2 ribbing for this one. Just because I wanted to see how this yarn would look in 2x2 rib. I think a 2x2 rib stands out a little bit more too when you're looking at it. I prefer a 1x1 rib, I think, on my socks for fit, but I think it looks really nice in a 2x2 rib. 64 stitches. I'm knitting this on 9-inch circular needles. And my Chow Goose, and I have a really cute sock stitch stopper from
Fox and Pine.
Fox and Pine.
Did you find the other one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did. It was in the side of the door. I was knitting in the car while we were driving. Kevin drove, which was great. Thanks, Kevin.
You're welcome.
Yeah. And what I loved about the whole package is that in these bags, there are 2 big pockets on the sides, and I threw in a tape measure and our really handy thread and maple, like Notions pack. I'm not sure exactly what they're called, but has your darning needles, scissors, and then on the outside, and it's all magnetic, and then on the outs, the zipper part has a bunch of stitch markers in it. So that's what my stitch marker is here, is the metal stitch marker that's used in the thing.
Cute.
I thought it was a nice little, pack up.
I'm gonna have to think what project I'm taking next weekend. Maybe pure joy, depending on where I am on it, or a hat. It's either gonna be pure joy or a hat.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna bring these. I like the idea of knitting a sample while we're doing like a trunk show or something like that, so people can see what it's like. They can touch it if they want to knit a few stitches with it too. On the 9-inch circulars, a lot of people are very opinionated, obviously, about 9-inch circulars. So no hate, but if you'd like to try and you see me in person, you're welcome to throw a couple of stitches in there. What's the worst that can happen, right?
And that's the knitting.
That's it.
So moving on to Owl Post and Breaking the Bank.
Should we start making that like?
No, we should not. And somebody did break the bank.
This time, sure. You have done it for the patent, and you all out there in NATR land, YouTubery verse, who breaks the bank the most? Yes, I love my kits, but I've been very reserved, and I just think it would be interesting. We should create a poll. Who breaks the bank?
You can on the community tab.
Okay. I for sure shattered the bank. I knocked it down with a cannonball. I came in like a wrecking ball. It tumbled.
So first we're going to do Owl Post though. And for those
I didn't break the bank with Owl Post.
No, for those of you who don't know or are new, Owl Post is when you all are super generous and you just send us something, whether to say thank you or for something, or sometimes it's a viewer, or it could be a yarn company. So we'd like to give them their shout out. So first up is, we'll do this one first. Right?
All right, this is
there should be 2, right?
No, there's just one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Okay. We want to talk about Upland Fiber Company. This is the brainchild of our friend Michael, who is a phenomenal knitter. Decided that he wanted to create a yarn brand that is sustainable and focused here in the Northeast. He had an idea of curating his own blend of yarns from a Corriedale sheep, as well as a Cormo. Thought that would make a really nice blend. Put it together and created this beautiful company. And so they're going to be launching very soon. It's not launched yet, but this is the time to really get in on everything. So we'll have a link to Michael's website down below. Right now, you can go in, put in your email address to be added to their email list. On Instagram, please follow Upland Fiber Co.
This is the Instagram page.
Yep. He's now released all colorways.
And here they are.
And they have 2 bases. One is in fingering, and one is in worsted weight. And it's 50% American Cormo, 50% American Corriedale. The story is really great. I highly recommend going to check out his Instagram. Talks about the name, where Upland came from. Talks about where the yarn is coming from. It's easy to track where it is, where it's been, and it all happens here in the Northeast, which is really great. It's all local, and he was gracious enough to send us a skein of yarn so that we can see it, we can touch it and feel it. We also got a little sneak peek. We've been holding on to this for a while. We've
had it for a little while.
We've been so excited for him, and now we can talk about it. So he sent us a sample of they call it Cor, C-O-R, fingering for Corriedale and Cormo. And this is the undyed skein. It's called, in the colorway, Flock. It is so squishy and soft, I cannot even explain it. So here it is. This is Core Fingering from Upland Fiber Co. Please check him out. We have it's 390 yards. It is a 3-ply semi-worsted spun yarn, and have you really
when it first came in, it's a beautiful base.
It's beautiful. I am so excited to knit with this. So, this is where our talk of sweaters, because we each want to make a sweater with this yarn.
We do,
like dying for him to launch so that we can buy all this yarn.
I actually already know. I picked my sweater pattern.
I didn't pick my sweater pattern, but I definitely picked my yarn color that I want to show you all right now. I'm super excited for him. I'm super excited for this yarn. I think it's something that is
now I'm torn between
unique
5 colors.
It's so soft. I love the story.
I will say this is a beautiful, beautiful base.
Yeah.
It's incredibly soft.
Incredibly soft.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do a sweater in the colorway Glacier.
Oh, you are. Are you going to do fingering, or do you think worsted?
I think I want to do fingering.
Yeah.
I really do. I want to do cables, though, too. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know. Is that too much? It might be too much. Maybe I'll do... I don't know. I have to choose a sweater pattern. Michael, if you're watching and you know your yarn, tell me, do I want fingering or do I want worsted? And choose a pattern for me. That would be great. But I do know that I'm definitely going to do Glacier. We have some little snippets of the actual yarn in all the colors, which is great. So seeing him in person has been amazing. But if you go to their Instagram, you'll see all of the colors that they've released so far. And they now, the last post is all of the details, and there's a video with a full color collection, and he goes through every single one. So that's the flock that we just showed. Bubbles, Glacier is going to be my sweater. Saddle's a beautiful brown. I'm not allowed to get brown anymore. But you can see all of the colors in there. That one's beautiful. Hunter's a really nice color. I mean, they're all gorgeous. I'm really, really excited. Which one are you doing?
I don't know.
Oh.
I have 5 in my head right now. So.
Okay. I mean, get a sweater's quantity in all 5. You can't go wrong. So again...
So, yes. So
not
definitely
to continue
check
to
out...
harp on this, but we are just thrilled beyond belief.
Yeah, so check out Upland Fiber.
Yeah.
Upland Fiber Co. Mm-hmm. Please give them a follow on Instagram and sign up for the newsletter.
Yeah, and read the post about their name and stuff, because I think it was really cool how it was all broken down. I really appreciate that. There's a little bit of a little tongue-in-cheek kind of reference to Upland Fiber, the name Upland. Just check it out.
All right. So next up,
congratulations, Michael. Sorry,
yes, congratulations, Michael.
Yay. Okay.
Yesterday, on our way to pick up every stitch, we stopped at the post office and we got this beautiful package that we did not know was coming.
Amazing.
And the folks over at Blue Sky Fibers sent a little card, said, "A few fun color combos for you to try. Happy knitting, from Nancy." And inside, first is some notion pouches.
Yeah,
for
these are
us.
cute.
Some felted Blue Sky Fiber little notions.
Yep.
And it came with a complimentary pattern. So that's really fun. And then, in this nice little bag,
I get so happy with acquiring things. This is why we have a problem.
Are some colors to try the
amazing
Salish cap. So this is their Woolstock Light, which I've knit with Woolstock Worsted before. I did their 27 color hat. I got that kit from Knit New Haven years ago.
You're right. Yeah.
So we have 2,
8.
4, 8 colors. So let's take a look at these. This is it looks like, is it a single ply yarn? I don't know, but it's beautiful.
I don't know. It's 100% fine Highland wool.
So these are 50 grams, 218 yards, or 200 meters. This is the colorway Golden Meadow. This is Morning Frost.
Ooh, that's really pretty.
This, I feel like, is going to be like a...
iron something.
Cast iron.
Cast iron, yeah.
Kettle Black, maybe? Oh, Midnight Sea.
Ooh.
Cranberry Compote.
That's nice. It's a little darker in person than it's showing there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is Rusted Roof. Oh, that's a good color.
Oh,
Wild Thyme, not T-I-M-E, like the herb.
Herb.
Hello,
Ari. And this one is Ember Glow.
That's a pretty color.
Isn't that pretty? But look at it does kind of look single ply. It's very soft.
I know, now I got to come up with combos.
Can I maybe do something?
Yeah, you could definitely. Because you've been looking for
yarn to do this, but you've stolen all of the scraps for your blanket. So,
well, and also because you need a roughly...
That's fun.
So that's going to be... I feel like that could
I
be
feel
fun.
like they all can be really great together.
I feel like always combining a dark and a light.
Oh, they're all going to be so
right.
Can I do that blue one? The grayish blue.
Yeah. So, and this is the yarn that the pattern is written for. So in this pattern picture, the male in it is using Midnight Sea with a color called Spring Ice, and the female in the picture is using Rusted Roof and Gray Harbor. So, yeah,
Look
you
how
would
pretty
need.
These are together.
And, but those are, I agree, yes, but they're both too light colors.
Too bright, you think?
No, they're both lighter colors. So I feel like a light and a dark.
That's
right.
Nice.
That would look nice.
This is the Midnight one. Yeah, Midnight Sea. That's pretty.
I feel like these two, and then these two.
Yes.
And these two, maybe. So, thank you.
Yeah, that was so sweet.
Today, now that we'll have some time today to just shoot them a quick message.
Will we have time today?
Yeah.
I feel like we're busy.
We are busy today.
We're busy.
All right, and then you should have the last.
The last is in addition to sending a prize for you all, Ginger Snap sent us some yarn as well. I mean, I guess we could have given this away, but I'm not gonna, because I love them so much. They're 2 skeins of their... How do I get in here? Oh, 2 skeins of their light reactive, black light reactive sock yarn. It's a Lush Fingering 2-ply, 75-25 superwash merino, and the colorway is Joy. Look at it, like, glows.
It's a very happy color.
Very happy. Look at the twist.
I love the bright.
Mm-hmm.
Very beautiful.
Very beautiful.
Let me take this. Yes.
I love how like bright and fun that is. Brings me joy.
Yeah. Very beautiful.
Joy.
So thank you very
thank you so much.
Ginger Snap.
That was so sweet.
All right.
Should we give one of them away? Nah, let's
no,
think
because
on
it could be a project.
Yeah,
like,
it could.
That could be a 2-skein project.
Yeah, I agree. I love them. Okay.
They're
ours. Sorry, not sorry.
And then moving on to Breaking the Bank.
Breaking the Bank.
So one is our Wool and Zanash Monthly Club arrived. So if you have not received yours and you do not want any, or to be spoiled, the colorway to be spoiled, please look away.
Yes.
This is the July 2024 color.
And it is porch knitting. Isn't that good?
I know. I love. And then I love
it feels
color.
relaxing and soft, you know?
Yeah, that's a really good description. It does feel soft. Like
yeah.
I think it's that this green in it that minty-ish, like not even a mint because it's so much lighter than that, but that pastel-y green is really relaxing.
I agree.
And the yellow in there too.
I love it.
Buttercream yellow.
I feel like this is one of the clubs I will never cancel. You know?
I know. You should start knitting some socks with them.
I have knit a few.
This year?
They're just, they're nice to have.
This year?
I cranked a tube. And I put socks together with it. Maybe you should learn how to use our sock machine.
No, I need to. I really need to. And then last up is our purchases from yesterday.
Okay. So I'm really jealous of what you got. I like seeing these colors together.
So while we were there, one of their employees, his name is Anthony, he was wearing a really nice tank, right?
Yep. Do you remember the name of the pattern?
The name is Vegas.
Yay! Good job.
And
Anthony, Anthony probably doesn't watch.
I bought 4 of each. Oh, yeah, just to be safe. So I decided I would like to do a tank, summery tank type of shirt. The one that he was wearing, Vegas, it is DK weight. And he knit it with fingering held double. I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to marl my colors because I think that would be a fun look. And I've not knit with this yarn before. This is the Knitting for Olive Cotton Merino, which is 70% cotton, 30% extra fine merino. I'm doing the colorways Oatmeal and Dusty Blue Whale.
These are very sophisticated together. They're
so
beautiful.
I think it's going to look gorgeous marled. Let me pull up the pattern. Do I have...
these are, again, it's a nice soft
I just have to figure out...
I think it's going to look so nice.
He did make some modifications to it to make it fit male's body a little bit better.
Yeah.
I think it was bringing in the... If I remember, I feel like it was bringing in the neck a little more because it was a larger neck in the pattern.
And I think changing some of the decreases, and especially around the sleeves.
So this is the pattern. It's by Suzanne Muller. And it is a... Let's pull this up. So this is the pattern.
Yeah.
So it's the Vegas top. Yeah, and I know that he had mentioned, I think the length a little bit longer, the armhole a little bit longer, and maybe a different neck, bringing it up, the neckline up a little bit, if I'm not mistaken.
Did it go up higher?
I thought so. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm going to try.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to make some modifications to this once I buy the pattern and figure out what to do with the neck. But it was really nice. I would really like something, because I was thinking, and it won't be done, but in the future, to have something to wear under the Jethro. It'd be really nice to have a lighter knitted top under it. So that's what I purchased from Pick Up Every Stitch.
I love it. It's a great job.
Thank you.
I have that. I don't think I could wear that under the Jethro.
You might be able to, because it's a light blue.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Mine's blue.
It is blue. No, mine is blue. It's just...
It's cotton.
Yeah, it's a little tight around my midsection, though,
I would try it on again and see.
Okay. All right, and then...
Ray, what did you buy from Pick Up Every Stitch
yesterday? I got
yesterday?
a few things. Now, here's the thing. I was saying to Kevin and Kate yesterday, and Kate's husband Rich, we had a lovely dinner.
We did at a
really nice barbecue place called Wire Mill Barbecue, something like that. Wire Mill Saloon and Barbecue. It was delicious.
It was. We have some leftovers for lunch.
We do. I can't wait. I'm starving, Marvin. And yeah, it was really nice. Anyway, I was saying that I don't usually buy things for myself, ever, outside of this world. I don't have. So I don't have a drug habit. I don't buy like new car every day. I don't do those things, So I figured that it would be a treat yourself kind of day yesterday. I was in a good mood, and yarn makes you very happy. I did not buy any yarn. You all know that I love my knitting needle protectors, and so I picked up a couple of those. This is really funny.
I feel like you have this one, actually.
I do not have this one. Absolutely not. No. This is a dumpster fire and says, everything's fine, which I absolutely love. We have a a Christmas tree ornament with a dumpster fire. Remember, it was like 2020.
It was our 2020 one that Robbie and Isabella gave us.
Then I got this one. Y'all know who that is? Then I got... So then this one reminded them of us.
Of our logo.
Of our logo a little bit. So I got a yarn ball and knitting needles, which are great. These are a little bit bigger than the... I don't know what brand this is. It's a little bit bigger than the... Oh, this is great. This is from Comma Craft Co. So they're a little bit larger, like I said, than the other ones that we have. Bless you. We'll have the shop link down below as well. However, we got these from, bless you, Pick Up Every Stitch. They have a really nice selection. Then, this Kevin kind of forbade me to get.
No, I didn't forbid. I just had pointed out that where you knit in the house, this particular item and the way that you do knit, this particular item doesn't seem practical for you.
Okay. I disagree. I am going to find some ways to use this.
So you agree that you don't know how to use this?
I'm going to use it on... I'm going to replace my thing on the side.
On the side.
The other Thread and Maple thing. Okay, so this is by Thread and Maple. This is their...
He doesn't know.
I don't know what it's called.
It's a yarn box.
A yarn box by Thread and Maple, and it's beautiful. Okay? So here it is. It's a thick hardwood, right? You have the top here has some little catches in it for your little notions and things. And then inside, I probably should have opened it. Inside, you put your yarn here, if you'd like, and you can thread that through to pull from, right? And it comes with also a small phone holder, which I use all the time.
We do both have their
all the time
phone and stitch marker holder, and we use it quite often.
Yep. And this sits right in here to keep it, keep it out of the way. I'm not quite sure what you would put in here. Maybe like a pen or like a crochet hook or something like that, like some of your little things. And it's just gorgeous. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. It's very, very heavy and well made. So I will definitely use this. Now I don't regret it. No regrets. No regrets. Okay, so that's the Thread and Maple box. I love it. That's all I have to say. Okay? It's called Thread and Maple Yarn Box.
All right.
Okay.
And what else did you buy?
Okay, and then this one... Look. I can't believe that I got this, to be honest. I really wanted it. And then I thought, it's very... These are pricey purchases. I have to tell you that these are pricey purchases. The box is about $100, just to be fully transparent and whatever. And then this set was pretty large, a big purchase. This is about $300. God damn it. So I ended up, I went for it. I jumped in. I got some encouragement from some of the knitters that were there, including our dear friend Kate. So it is Kate's fault. And I went and I got the Chagu Forte set. This is their special edition interchangeable set. They had... Oh, I haven't opened it yet. Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh, I know. Look at that white covering.
It's gorgeous. It's good. So it comes with its own case, zipper case, and like everything that you need in life right here. I have to attach this. Oh, it's magnetic. Shut the front door. Well, that's convenient. And these come right these come right out. So, what this is a metal and carbon.
No.
No.
It's metal and wood.
Metal. Oh, I'm sorry. Metal. Yes, metal
But
and
the smaller
wood.
sizes are carbon because when it was initially released, there were some issues with because the wood was so thin on some of the smaller needle sizes that they did stop production and reproduce them with carbon for maybe the first 3 to 4 sizes, and then the rest are wood.
So, gotten really, really good reviews and a lot of really good feedback that now that some of our friends have these. They only knit with them. They really do prefer them. These are the 5-inch tips, which is really the hesitation point, I think, for me and Kevin, because Kevin knits primarily with the 4-inch tips, and we use those for like knitting like hats in the round or different things like that. If you're going to do in the round. My preference is usually the 5-inch tips for like bodies of the sweaters, shawls, everything like that.
Even in the round, you use 5-inch tips on those?
No, but in the round, I usually use fixed circulars. Like if I'm going to do a hat.
Well, I'm thinking of the body of the sweater, though. When you're doing a body of the sweater in the round?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
Yep.
And then my sleeves, I use the Chow Goose shorties and stuff. So it's pretty rare when I actually use the 4-inch tips for the Chow Goose, which is really interesting, right? I don't know.
Because that's your main set, is your 4-inch tips.
I have my 5-inch tips. I have the same number of needles. I have the full set. So we've got the 4-inch and the 5-inch tips.
Oh, I didn't know you bought the 5-inch.
I've been buying them separately over the past couple of years. I just don't have the large size.
Oh, I see.
Like 10 to 15 or whatever.
Yep.
So I'm really, really excited to try these. They come with both the swivel cords, which we've gotten some mixed feedback about the swivel cords, so I will try them. Some people's experiences is that the yarn catches a little bit on the swivel cord, but it also comes with the red cords as well, which we've got a ton of these anyway. So, and yeah, well, I'm gonna give it a go. I am going to start probably today, or this week. I'm going to start knitting again on my Bare Naked Wool's Wild Horses pattern. If you all remember, I had done, it's a fingering weight sweater. I did the entire back, so now I just have the 2 front panels to do. So I'm going to try to knit those 2 at a time. We were talking about maybe doing that. But I'd like to give these a try and see. But it's just, I thought it was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, and I was just wondering, and I don't know, do you think that possibly by changing the needle type, that you could change your gauge?
Yeah, so
on your sweater?
Yeah, but I think that the back is done, so it's really the length that I have to worry about when joining them together. I don't think it's going to be... It's not like I'm stopping halfway in the middle of like a sleeve separation or something like that. So I think it'll be just fine. As if I do the panels in the same, if I do them 2 at a time, that'll be fine. It'll just be length.
Yeah.
I think that I have to worry about. But I'm so excited about this. I've been wanting this for a really long time. And so I really shattered
the
vaults.
We actually don't have a bank anymore.
No, there's no more bank.
Nope, he broke it, and we had to shatter it.
We will be moving to the cardboard box down the street for a little while. No, we'll be. It's good. You've got to be able to treat yourself from time to time. And I didn't buy any yarn, so there's that. Okay.
All right.
I love this box. I can't wait to use it.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you use it and how you use it.
Okay.
And the placement of it in your knitting space.
And I think...
And that is that. So let's just... Reading and watching is kind of actually pretty easy. We've watched one thing. We're powering through Supernatural. I think we're on season 11 now. Yes, 11 of 15. Yeah. So we are moving along nicely with that. And I do always wonder now, like, why we stopped, because I really do enjoy the show. I think maybe we just needed a break because we did so many seasons back to back, if I'm not mistaken. Like, really, I think we went from season 1 to 7 pretty quickly.
We did go through pretty quick. Yeah.
So yeah, we're enjoying that. And then reading wise, I finished 2 books.
Oh yeah.
I finished book 2 in the Jake's Magical Market series that I'm reading. Book 2 was called A Trek Through Time. This is a series by, let's pull them up. I think it's by J.R. Mathews. And it's kind of like a nod towards video games and card game, like Magic the Gathering type of thing. So I finished that. And I also read a book called The Invention of Wings, which is a male-male romance by Robin Knight. It is book 1 in the Mulligan's Mill series. I probably won't continue on. The book was fine. Yeah, the book was cute. But it's like a Hallmark movie. I just needed a palate cleanser between books 2 and 3 in Jake's series. So now I am reading Jake's Magical Market, Home Sweet Home. This book feels more like book 1 to me. Book 2, like I had mentioned last time, was a little bit of a slog to get through. This book is quite long. It's 1,200 pages, a little bit less than that, but might as well be 1,200. And it has a little bit more of the feel of book 1 to me. So Jake is trying to find his way home. In book 1, Earth was transformed by these new gods into pretty much like a video game type of setting. There's dungeons and cards that give people powers or abilities. And I think we learned like 80% of the population didn't make it through like the first month of this transition. And Jake is currently in other points of time trying to rectify this, kind of. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I feel like his moral compass has changed quite a bit. He's changed a lot as a character. Like he realizes that he is sometimes maybe selfish and maybe uncaring a little bit towards things. Like it's really changed him, this world and all these changes that he's gone through. Yeah. So like trying to get back there, and his abilities have changed quite a bit. Like he got some and then lost them and got like this new set. So I am enjoying book 3 quite a bit. The chapters aren't as long, which makes it feel like it's going a little bit quicker. So I was going to take a little bit of a longer break because the Blackbird Oracle came out from Deborah Harkness in the All Souls universe. And I knew that if I stopped, I wouldn't finish this trilogy, and I really wanted to. So that's kind of where I'm at there, and that's what I've been reading.
Okay, I have also finished 2 books in my series. I'm currently listening to a series called He Who Fights with Monsters. If you've been following along, it was a very probably like the surprise of 2024 for me when it comes to books. I wasn't sure if I was going to really enjoy it because it's a pretty much like a video game. This guy gets sucked into a video game and it's like following all of those things. It is just an incredible series. I think it's funny. It's got everything that I absolutely love in it. And so I have finished listening to He Who Fights with Monsters Book 4, and I am currently reading listening to He Who Fights with Monsters Book 5 by Shirtaloon. Shirtaloon. I just updated my Goodreads, so if you'd like to take a look at, where I finished these, get some more recommendations, you can follow me on Goodreads. My Goodreads is on the show notes attached to this. And I love it. It's taken a turn a little bit, and talking to our friend Jeff, who also has finished all of the books that are current. I don't know if it's book 10 coming out now, 11 coming out now. He had read an article, I guess an interview with the author who basically has these books. The way that it was written was that they were in like threes. So you have, book 1 through 3 set in one place and kind of has an arcing storyline. Ends, then you have a new storyline in a newer place for books 4, 5, and 6, from what I understand, and then et cetera, et cetera. So now on this book 4 was wonderful. He had come back to Earth. I think I talked a little bit about this last time. Just to find that Earth also has like a magic system that's hidden from society. Now he's working his way to bring that to the forefront, so let everybody know that there's magic there. It's really good. It's lighthearted. Like I said, it's funny. The narrator is really great as well. He's Australian. I can't remember who narrates it right this very second. But you can definitely check that out over at Audible. And then I finished also in my Throne of Glass series. I finished Empire of Storms, Throne of Glass number 5, and Tower of Dawn, Throne of Glass number 6. I don't know why they're out of order here in my good notes, but maybe it's date updated. I don't know. So Throne of Glass Tower 6, Throne of Glass number 6 was interesting because we talked about how book 5 and 6 take place at the same time, and there are ways that you can read both simultaneously. I will say that it took me quite a while to get into this book because I was so committed to our other main characters. And then I think I mentioned in the last podcast that I started really getting invested in these characters, and then by the end I was fully on board with these characters and kind of want to see how they're progressing. So now I started book 7, which is called Empire of Embers or something like that. Let me see. Oops. Kingdom of Ash. Nothing to do with Ember. I guess Embers and Ash.
Embers and Ash.
Sure. This is all by Sarah J. Maas. This I think is the last book in the series, which is really good. Because I too would like to read the next Deborah Harkness book. And I just started the other day.
I was going to say, let's see, how many books there are? Throne.
I hope it's 7. I think it is.
I thought there were 9.
No, please. I can't do it. It's a lot.
Let's see.
You all are probably
yelling at us.
So anyway, we have now 4 different storylines that we're following. So I can't wait.
7.
Okay, perfect. Hopefully it ends
Kingdom
at
of
7.
Ash is. It says, I believe Throne of Glass is the only finished Sarah J. Maas.
So it's complete.
I think that's complete, and there's one other series. I believe that the ACOTAR is not complete. There's one more book coming in that, if I remember correctly.
Okay. Lovely. So I think that kind of wraps everything up.
Look at us go, hour and a half. What? Now we get to have lunch and go grocery shopping and cut the lawn.
We're gonna divide and conquer.
Yes,
You're
we
gonna go
will.
grocery shopping. I'll cut the lawn. So anyway, next weekend we'll be over at Skane if you'd like to join us.
Next Saturday.
Not sure what time we're gonna get there. Oh, probably when the store opens. That's usually
We'll get
how
there
we
pretty
roll.
close to it.
And then the following week
It's a podcast.
And then we are headed out to Seattle for Flock Fiber Festival. Yeah, busy things.
All right, well, it's been a good 2 weeks, so we hope that you guys have a great 2 weeks. Don't forget about our giveaway for Ginger Snap That.
For the s'mores.
S'more, and we are doing s'more, S''MORE in the comments to enter, and we will pick a winner for the next episode. So until then, we hope that you guys have a great 2 weeks, and we will see you in a fortnight.
Bye.